Look, now he's gonna freaking cause a wreck.
I want everybody to take note of where the truck's front wheels are pointed at this point in time. Now watch as this fire truck driver turns the wheel in order to point the truck in the direction of the journalist who is recording him and then hit him with the vehicle.
Look, now he's gonna try to run me over. Hey man, what the f? He just hit me with his truck, bro. He just hit me with his truck. He ran me.
If I was out at a scene and I turned my steering wheel and rammed it into a fire department employee, do you think that I would get to go home that night and have an investigation launched into me, or do you think that I would be arrested on site?
I think that would be left up to the law enforcement officials on the scene as they did their investigation.
Hey, hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the Hendry channel. Today's video comes to us from the YouTube channel Harvey Freebird. If you haven't already, you want to go check him out, subscribe to the channel. He is a cop watcher out of Texas. In this video, he was out cop watching, and he came across a scene in which multiple fire department employees and police department employees had responded to a call for a fire. Upon arriving, Harvey approached the scene and immediately was startled by the sound of a fire department employee sounding his siren in very close proximity to Harvey. After getting a start, he asked what was wrong with the guy, and the guy wasn't too happy. So in response, this government employee activated his car, turned the wheel, and proceeded to hit Harvey with his motor vehicle.
It's all fire department. Oh, well, I see some police up there too. Oh, man. What are they doing? Man, what the f, man? Asshole. What the f***'s your problem, man? What's your problem, man? Fucking asshole. Fucking asshole. Get your lazy ass out and say something.
Fucking talk to people.
Yeah, you fucking punk. That guy right there is a hole. Dude, that shit right in my ear.
Hey, that was a little rude, wasn't it?
Yeah. Prick.
That was.
He could have just got out and said, hey guys, can you step back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have rolled his window down, anything, bro. He just blew out my eardrum.
That loud ass.
Piece of shit. That's a fat, lazy piece of shit right there, man. We need to file a complaint on him. Hey, name and badge number, man. Name and badge number. Look, now he's gonna freaking cause a wreck. Look, now he's gonna try to run me over. Hey man, what the f? He just hit me with his truck, bro.
For anybody out there that would defend the piece of garbage that just tried to hit a man with a piece of metal weighing over a ton, I think it's important to remember who actually escalated this situation from the start. In this clip, Harvey and his friend were walking past the fire truck when the fire department employee, William Roy, decided to activate his fire siren in very close proximity to Harvey.
What are they doing?
This would clearly make any reasonable person startled and potentially angry. But instead of losing his cool and committing a crime against the person who had just intentionally startled him and potentially tried to frustrate him, Harvey kept his cool and didn't commit a crime. In contrast, the government employee, William Roy, the fire department employee, did commit a crime, unprovoked and without reason. Luckily for Harvey Freebird, in this particular case, a government law enforcement agent was nearby and swiftly served justice upon the criminal who assaulted and potentially tried to murder Harvey Freebird. Oh wait, we're in the real world. Now let's see what really happened, sorry.
Hey officer! He just assaulted me with his truck. This man just ran into me with his truck. I got it on film. He hit me with his truck.
He didn't
ask us to move. He didn't say shit. He just pulled up and fucking ran in. He just hit me with his truck. He ran me. It's aggravated assault. There ain't no need for all that. Yeah, I got it on film. There ain't no need for him to be up there in a hurry.
Well, so they're investigating.
Look, first he pulled up behind me and turned on his loud siren, blew my eardrum out. If he would have just got out and asked us to move back, we would have moved back. Then he freaking ran me with his truck.
Okay. Hey, Harvey, so
I need him identified.
Ah, yes. In the real world, the officer came over and notified Harvey that the truck's emergency lights were on. So, of course, the gentleman committing the forcible felony inside of the truck was clearly justified to do so. I mean, obviously, because of the emergency lights.
Fucking felony, That's a felony what he just did to me. That's a felony, dude. You don't even have to be here to watch it.
All right, so they're investigating a fire right now, okay?
See?
He wasn't...
Fuck you, motherfucker. I need him identified. Get his tag number. 1577122.
This disturbing footage reinforces a trend that is becoming more and more obvious to more and more people. That trend is that there are rules for you and me, but not for thee if thee is a government employee. What you've just seen is a man attempt to assault or attempt to batter somebody with a potentially deadly weapon in the form of a motor vehicle. If you or I had committed this same physical act against an employee of the government, the response would be relatively nuclear when comparing it to this incident at hand. I now want to talk about why this government employee was allowed to drive away. This is a last-minute edit. Apparently, the fireman was not allowed to drive home that night, so that was his punishment for committing the felony offense. I don't want to get that wrong in my reporting. Also, the detectives that are investigating this situation, instead of investigating the chief of fire, William Roy, who did this, they actually keep investigating Harvey Freebird, asking him why he was even present on a public sidewalk at the time, instead of actually doing their jobs and arresting the criminal. So, with that being said, let's get back into it. When any other person that acted in this way would most definitely be thrown in a cage. Right? The reason that this guy is allowed to get away with this stuff is because if government really was out arresting the real criminals and throwing real criminals in cages, the government wouldn't exist because all of the employees within it would be in a cage. Right? There's only one way that a government can exist. Right? Now, in the Declaration of Independence, Jefferson wrote, "The just powers of government are derived from the consent of the people." But in reality and in practice, government is never acting with the consent of the people. As a matter of fact, there are many different examples of government saying explicitly, look, I don't need your consent. I can do this stuff to you. I don't need your consent.
I got my rights to do anything I want to do. I'm a police officer.
And the reason that they think that is because they have erected for themselves a legal system that justifies all of their actions, all of their horrid actions. Government employees create issues for the public, and then they come up with a solution in order to potentially solve the issue that they just created. The police are there to keep you safe, right? So the government goes and hires this fire chief to also keep you safe. Now, when the fire chief, William Roy, decides to make a member of the public unsafe by hitting them with a motor vehicle, intentionally, I might add, then you go and you call the police, right? They're there to keep you safe. But of course, you call the police over, and as we saw in this example, the police actually defend the actions of the fire department employee. That cop was never going to arrest him. He says, hey, Harvey, you see those emergency lights on? I mean, it's just incredible. You can't make this stuff up. So anybody, if you were thinking about getting away with a hit and run, if you were thinking about getting away with assault by use of a motor vehicle, all you got to do is attach emergency lights to it and get in with the local gang, right? Who has what they call jurisdiction, or in real people terms, we call it their turf, right? So if you're on somebody's turf, you're going to want to go consult with the local gang to make sure that you're okay to do this kind of stuff.
Galveston Fire Department, Harrison.
Hey, Mr. Harrison, how's it going today?
Living a dream.
I just saw some video on the internet that appears to portray Mr. Roy turning the steering wheel of his fire-issued truck and ramming into a looks like a YouTube journalist. Was that Mr. Roy that did that?
I have not seen the video.
Okay.
But I know that I believe there is an investigation that's ongoing into an incident that did occur with one of our battalion chief chefs.
If I was out at a scene and I turned my steering wheel and rammed it into a fire department employee, do you think that I would get to go home that night and have an investigation launched into me, or do you think that I would be arrested on site?
I think that would be left up to the law enforcement officials on the scene as they did their investigation.
Okay. Because as long as they say you're okay, who cares? You'll get away with it. With that being said, everybody, stay safe, stay away from government as much as you can, and if they approach you, please, for your own good, record the hell out of them, record every action that they make in your presence, because if you don't record it, it never happened. I'm Craig Hendry with the Hendry Media Group. We will see everybody in the next video.